Hey guys, welcome to another All Bass Creations effects, tutorials, demos, and reviews. Today we have up the TC Electronic BAM200. Now this is a very small, look, it's the size of my hand pretty much. And not only that, but it's only about 1 pound and it's super light. It emulates a tube amp a good amount, and it's 200 watts of power at 4 ohms and 130 watts at 8 ohms. Right now, I have it running through the Fender 115 Bassman Neo, which is an 8 ohm cabinet, so it's running 130 through this cabinet. I'm also going to run it through the TC Electronic BC410, which is a 4 ohm cabinet. So you'll get to hear it with both of these cabs, as well as you'll get to hear it in comparison to other amps in another video in the amp shootout, but we'll get to that later. So let's get to the amp. This is of course flat. So that's the amp flat. Let me turn my bass completely flat. That was actually my bass with a little scoop in it. This is my bass flat. All right, so and of course the other tone. So you got both of those. That's kicking a little bit of those lows in there. We're gonna go back to my original little scoop sound I had there. So that's a little bit of bass in comparison to flat. Right, gives you a good amount of bottom to it. You know, nice warm. I think of this more as once it gets past a certain point, once it gets past this 3 o'clock, it starts being more of how warm it is, more than actually adding bass. But around there, it has a good amount of bass. See what it sounds like with the mid scooped out. So it still has a very good amount of clarity to it. It actually sounds really close to my BH500 head. It's just like a really scaled down version of that. That's what I like about it. Very nice warm tone to it. Let's boost some of those highs. gives you a good amount of highs as well. Let's see, let's do an opposite. Let's do like a frowny face type. And let's go with more of a finger style EQ for my bass. So it gets very warm, you know. Very warm tone when you do it that way. It's kicking a little bit more bottom. So it gives you a very nice tone. Some of the controls, you know, you just have a gain, bass, middle, treble, master, and on the back you just have a DI with a XLR out with a ground and lift and a speaker out and a power out and power switch. So very basic setup. It is super light. It's super light. It's ridiculous. So you know, I actually like this little head, especially for the price. For $167, $170, you absolutely cannot beat this amp right here. And it's just all the other competitors are about $100 more, or at least anywhere from 30 to $100 more if you go with the Warwick or the Trace Elliott Elf. Trace Elliott Elf is about $270 something, so it's $100 more than this one. This one has all the same features, just with a TC electronic sound, you know, a little bit of that tube sound, you know, tube emulation sound rather. So like I said, this amp is definitely worth checking out. Now let's switch over to the actual 410 cabin. Give me 1 second. All right. So now, and I use the Zoom H5 to record, you know, these amp demos and different things like that. So if you guys are wondering, so it's a mix of the Zoom H5 mics as well as it's a line in, and then there's another condenser mic that's more so to catch my vocals, but it catches some of the room as well. So I try to give you guys a good, realistic idea of how the amp sounds. So we're gonna go back to flat. I'm gonna go back to flat on my bass as well. let's add a little bottom, little top, little scoop. Oh my goodness. You know, I gotta actually bring the mics down for this one. And that's still with the amp flat. Now we're gonna add some bottom to it. So it's ridiculous. You want to cut a little bit of the mids. Add some high end to it. Yeah, so yeah, so let's try a little bit frowny face type EQ. Cut the bass down a little bit, give it some mids. Ooh, that's pushing it. So as you can see, it gives you plenty of options and plenty of bass. You know, it can either cut the bass a lot, or it gives you quite a bit of a boost there. Also with the mid range. Also with the highs. All the way down to see what I'm saying? It just gives you all these tonal options in a very small package, and it does sound very good. And like I said, it gives you a headphone out as well, and you can use this as like a studio, um, preamp. I would recommend if you don't have a good bass preamp for your studio slash amp, um, this would definitely do the trick for you if you're a beginner. If you need a backup amp, even if you just want a small amp just to keep in your bag or whatever the case, this would definitely fit in your gig bag for sure. Like I said, it's the size of my hand. Is it's not big at all. It's a very small piece of gear. And it's quiet. It has the quiet, the most, you know, the quietest fan, and it has the quietest signal out of the 3 amp mini amps I'll be reviewing. So far it has the quietest fan. And so if you're looking for the absolute best, studio quality sound without, the extra fan noise or any of that stuff, this amp will do it just for it right for you. So I definitely recommend this TC Electronic BAM200. It's an amazing little amp, and you really can't go wrong with it. And it looks amazing if you have a TC Electronic cabinet already. It looks nice on there, don't it? So I'm a huge fan of the red, the black amps with the red face. Like my BH500 is. This is just like a really small version, like I said, and it just um I'm really impressed. It's very loud for its size. Like I really don't. I haven't. I'm not pushing it for the video, but it definitely has a lot of power for its size, and it definitely could do a gig, easily do a gig with that. That's not even a question. Let's hear what just the DI sounds like. So so as you can hear, that's a great a great DI as well. So if you want to get that amp sound without having an amp on your tracks, that'll definitely this will definitely do it for you. This is just going to be without the DI. This is just going to be coming from the speakers. So I gotta turn it down now. So especially paired with that TC electronic cab, it's very warm. You can really push the highs on that. Really great sound. So again, check out the TC Electronic BAM200. It's a great head. I'm not sure what they got in the future, but if it's headed in this direction, I can't imagine it get too much smaller than this. This is the size of a I don't know, a sandwich. Like this is so small, but it gives such a great sound. So I would like I said, for 170 bucks you can't beat it. Get this and probably like a nice cabinet, and you're good. Like you're really good for a gig like this. And this cab, this Fender cab would be 48 pounds together. This and this would be 60 pounds together. So I would have a 60-pound, 200-watt rig. Is that too good? I mean, that's not too far from what the BA, 210 is by itself, with just two tens for a 410 and at 200 watts. That's not too bad for a, 115 and a tweeter, and this to be 48 pounds all together, and most of that being the cabinet is not too bad. So either way, you couldn't go wrong with that. And also they have smaller cabinets that are around 30 pounds, 37 pounds, 25 pounds, depending on which ones you want. I don't like to go too light with my bass gear. I like to keep it a little weight on it, but the weight doesn't need to be in the head. The weight needs to be with the speakers, in my opinion. So, a lot of the tube emulations and things like that warm your sound up and give you that tube-like sound. But I don't need an exact tube amp to carry around with me. I just don't. It's too much. It's too heavy. One of these for most gigs will actually get you through most gigs. Club gigs, church gigs, all that stuff. Especially if they have a PA, they running a DI out the back, and bam, ain't no problem. Bam, there ain't no problem. So I say get one if you got extra $170. You're trying to find an amp. I would say get this one over other well, not over. I would say definitely check this one out. Definitely check them all out, but definitely check this one out if you're a fan of TC Electronic Sound and the things they do, which I am. That's why I keep their gear around. Definitely check them out. And this has been another All Bass Creations effects tutorial, demos, and reviews. I'm the Bass Negus. You can find me at the Bass Negus, Negus, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.